Usually do is old commands I start to combine. Now these are all new today into a routine. That'll be for next week, or perhaps the end of this. This is the end of this week, the end of next week. So I'll start to heel, do a stay. Here I'm going to do heel and just do the sit alone because I'm going to create our auto sit, and like I said, we're at the beginning of our heel command. Then I'll do a come separate for this week or weekend. Then I'll do a stay separate from all of those. All right. Sophie. So when I start the heel, I want her facing the same way I am so I can measure up the leash. Then I'm going to put her in a sit. Sit. Good girl. Then I'm going to accordion up my leash in my right hand, and the slack part of the leash, operative word slack part of the leash, is going to be right under my knee. Sit. Right? So the knee makes the correction for lagging. This arm makes the correction for going to the left, but this hand comes right back. This hand always comes right back. I never use my left hand except for what I did right there because I wanted her to sit before we start going, and so that I can get in good heel position. Good heel position, her shoulder, my leg. No more than about 6 inches apart, I would say. But in the beginning, you might give some leeway to that. The beginning, it doesn't look pretty. As far as if you see someone who actually has a trained, focused heel, that takes a long time to do. The beginning is the beginning of where we start off. So, and if she forges ahead, there's a few things that we can do. We can do an about turn, which is going in the opposite direction, turning to your right and going in the opposite direction. If you can head her off too, before that happens, you could do a left turn, which is turning to your left and getting your knee in front of her and kind of bumping her to the side. You could, if she's not paying attention, sit. If she's not paying attention, you could also do a right turn. All right, so here we go. So at the beginning, we have our leash measured, our puppy on our left-hand side in good heel position, and then we're going to step with our left foot and say heel. So that's what a about turn looks like for forging, and this is what a right turn looks like if she's also going to left. And go sniff something. And this is what that correction looks like if she's going too far to the left. So heel, sit, heel, sit, heel, sit, heel. Sit. So the footwork on the what's going to become the auto sit is important. Oh, I'll do one going with, you'll see my behind, and one where you'll see my front. What I'm basically going to do, just to describe it, is as I come to a halt, I plant my left foot, I say sit as I do that. By the time my right foot goes up, she should be going into a sit or be in a sit already. If that hasn't happened, I'll give her the correction for sit. It's one time where you can use your left hand. You'll see me just oh so nonchalantly go for this as I'm going to plant my left foot. Don't make a big deal of it. Don't rush to get it. Eventually it's going to be extinct, so don't let her see that as something that you're always going to do. So from behind, no, sit. All right, you got your leash, you got your puppy. heel. Before we, and you have to get her in good position before you do the sit. Heel. Oop. Heel. Plant the left foot, sit. Correct. Good girl. Okay. Heel. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Heel. Sit. Good girl. Heel. Now from the front. Up. Up. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Eye boogies. Heel. Sit. Good girl. All right. So you want to get 4 of those in a row without needing correction, but we're going to still say sit until it becomes auto, which should not be very long with this little girl. But don't push it. Say sit this weekend. There was something else I was going to say. That's why I'm pausing. Can't remember. I'm sure it will come to me as I do more of these. Okay, break. It'll come. All right. Oh, so you want to be able to start her off small. So you want to do 5 steps, sit, 5 steps, sit. So I like to get 5 steps in good position, sit, 5 steps good position, sit, then 10 steps good position, sit, 10 steps good position, sit. Oh, you need to get 4 of those in a row consistently before you move up the ladder. Also, this is something you can do inside if you want to, where there's less distractions. It's more about the technique right now rather than her being able to endure the distractions around her. Or if she's doing well, you can do it in distractions. Just remember, you want to have a puppy that's going to focus on you somewhat. You don't want it to be so distracting that you feel like you're getting nowhere. If you feel like you're going nowhere, you're probably going nowhere. You're probably in too much distraction. Sit. Good girl. Sophie, heel. Sit. Sophie, heel. Sit. Girl. Sophie, heel. Up. Sit. Sophie, heel. Sit. Sophie, heel. You don't have to say Sophie, by the way. Sit. And please don't pick up my bad habit of saying heel while I go. You say heel first, then you go. But I have a bad habit that I have to correct all the time because I go into trials, so that's what made me think of that. Break. Sit. Sophie, heel. Sit. Sophie, heel. Sit. Good girl. Sophie, heel. Sit. Girl. Sophie, heel. Sit. Girl. Sophie, heel. Sophie, heel. Sit. Yeah, she wasn't in great position right there, but she ended up in good position. Sophie, heel. Sit. Okay, so the reason you want break, the reason why you want them looking straight on with you is, one, if you're very picky about your position, then your dog's less likely to get distracted and try to have their own way. Two, because if you get so good at the heel where you don't need to watch your dog and they're doing auto sits and they end up in front of you, you're going to trip over them. Take it from me. So you want the position to be straight on. Just like this. I know you guys aren't going to an obedience trial, but those are the two common sense reasons. You know, for me also, because, you know, they want them to be sitting straight on when I go to trial, which would be another great reason if you were obedience trial. Good girl. So when I'm doing homework, we get 2 of 4 times in a row. But I know we got 1 of them. I'm not sure we got 2 of them, so I'm going to do another set where I get 4 times a row, and then I'm going to move on to the additional command. So when I say that later on you mix and match, so later on, not this weekend, but later on, I would do a 1 heel, then I might do a sit stay, then I might do a come, then I might go into another heel, but I really want her to understand this process first before I start mixing everything together for her. It's more important for her to understand the mechanics of what she's doing at one time before I mix everything up for her. Sit. Over heel. Sit. Over heel. Sophie, heel. Sit. We haven't gotten there yet, and a few things I wanted to point out. I will correct for sniffing the ground, although technically if she's in step with me, that would be a successful set if she sat at the end. Okay, break. But so you can see the reason why you correct the sniffing on the ground, because a lot of times when they are sniffing the ground, they're not paying attention to you and they don't sit at the end. So if she was sniffing and she was right beside my leg and I came to a stop and she sat without corrections, that's what I'm calling my 4 in a row right now, that I can get 5 good steps in 1 sit without needing a correction 4 times in a row, then that's successful. So right now we're at 0. Let's go. Heel. 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 Sit. Still at 0. Heel. Sit. 1. Heel. Sit. 2. Heel. position but one. Heel. Two. Sit. Four. All right. So now we come to our sit stays, which we have not done outside yet. We have done it around daycare inside though, so maybe this won't be so bad. So I've got her up to a minute, and this is what I want you to practice at home. It's very boring. It's just with you still by your dog. You want to, okay, just want to make sure I broke her. You want to have her sit 4 times in a row easily for 1 minute. So if I get 2 sets of 4 times in a row, I'll be happy and move on to come. And right now we've spent about 21 minutes, so that should be, might be training her a little bit long. I'd probably try to keep her training sessions to 30 minutes. Part of it's because I'm talking. Sit. So you don't have to count the corrections for the sit at this time, just if she gets up and you need to correct her. That way you're only working on one thing at a time too. So I just corrected her when I got up. When she got up, she's going to try to get up, she's going to try to lie on the ground. And if I'm in more distractions and I think it's going to be harder for her, I'll lower the threshold for the time. So I think I'm going to lower it to maybe 15 seconds right now. That seems like a real good idea. Good girl. Okay, let's go. Sit. Okay, let's go. Sit. Okay, let's go. Sit. Okay, let's go. Sit. Girl. Okay, let's go. Sit. Good girl. Okay, let's go. Sit. Good girl. Okay, let's go. Sit. Okay, let's go. No. So she sees a dog going by. I'm just going to turn this off and turn it back on so I can do a new segment with these particular exercises in it.